I've been all in my phone, I got options.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Chanella. If you are a returning subscriber, what's up, friend? What's up? So basically today's video is gonna be me just giving you guys some tips and tricks. If you're planning on moving out of the country, you're planning on moving to a different borough, you're just planning to leave your home and going to somewhere else, I feel like these are some tips that you may need, because for those close to me know that I moved to Florida last year, and I was only there for 1 year because I just feel like, one, I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was, and two, I was just, not ready to give up certain things. So I just feel like it was a learning experience for me. I did learn, I did grow, and I decided to move back to New York, but it's not something that I wouldn't do again, is what I'm saying. I would just do things differently. I feel like, I should share that with you guys so that you guys can, learn from me, learn from my experiences. So the first tip that I feel like I should share with you guys is to be mentally prepared. Be mentally prepared. Things are gonna happen that's out of your control. And that's just plain and simple. That's just life, period. It's just how you process it. Every lesson is a blessing. You just need to just process it a different way and just think to yourself like, okay, I'm just gonna learn from it, I'm gonna grow from it, I'm gonna move forward, and that's it. The second thing that I would say is have money saved up. I feel like everyone moving out of state, moving out of the country, moving out of the borough should have at least 3 months worth of rent. That's it. You're gonna need to feed yourself, so that's cost money. I know everyone knows that. Like going out to eat, even going to Dunkin' Donuts, going to Starbucks in the morning. Starbucks is very expensive. I bought a sandwich and a drink the other day and it was like $15. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Imagine eating that outside and then still having to put clothes on your back. Like, save your money. Save your money. Save a lot of money. Like, anyone moving should have at least 5 grand. If you have less than 5 grand, I feel like you should already have a job lined up and you shouldn't be moving without a job or without any form of income. Another tip that I would say is to have a timeline. I feel like everyone should write down, okay, by month number 1, I want to have a job. By month number 2, I want to have an apartment. Creating a timeline for yourself is going to keep you on track and it's going to keep you from getting distracted. I was working at the post office before I moved to Florida. So when I was moving to Florida, I applied for the post office in Florida, but they really didn't give me a call back to say, hey, you got the job, come on in. I was on the pending list, so I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get it, bye, because I already worked there. And when you work for the post office, it's easier for you to get in if you're already an employee. So I was on the pending list, I left. I got there, week number 2 went by, no call. Week number 3 went by, no call. A month went by, no call. So I decided like, hey, I'm not even about to play with myself like this. Let me go ahead and get a job. So I applied for a few things, got a job, and I was still waiting on the post office and they never called me. Never called me. I wasted so much time not having a job, waiting when I could have simply applied out there, got a job before I left, like an automatic confirmation that, hey, come on in, we got you, here's your position. And I went out there, wasted a month without a job, depending on the savings that I had to buy food, have a social life. Like, I want to have fun. I want to go out to eat. I want to go to the places that they got on TikTok. Like, straight wasn't ready because my mind wasn't, I'm like, oh, I'm in Florida, I'm in Miami, we out. Let's go to Key West. Let's go to, like, I was on being a tourist instead of like trying to secure myself and trying to be grounded. I mean, I had a business, but I feel like my business would have been what was helping me save even more money, and I could have had a secure job that was like paying all the bills. Being ready for failure is very important, and channeling that failure and processing that failure in a healthy way is super important. I can't stress this enough, because I've had things that happened to me in Florida that I really don't want to speak on YouTube, but things happened where I feel like if it weren't for the strong friends that I did make in Florida and just me being a strong individual, period, I wouldn't have gotten me through. And you just have to be ready for failure, be ready and know that every state is not the same. So I feel like everybody should do their research about the state that they're going to live in, the minimum wage, how much, whatever profession that you want to get into, how much they make. Just do your research. Doing research is very important. You want to know exactly what you're walking into before you walk into it, so that you'll already have an idea of what you're getting yourself into. Me, I didn't do any research. I'm like, oh, South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, it's a lot of black people, I'm out of here. Because me, one, I wanted to be around cultured people. So I know that when I'm moving, I know exactly what area I want to live in. I know exactly what kind of people I want to be around. A place that's good for millennials. I want to make sure that when I go out, I don't see a bunch of old people at the club. Avoid temptation. I know TikTok is gonna tempt everyone. Social media is like a big influence in our lives, period. You just want to make sure that you stick to your plans, stick to your goals, and everything else is gonna fall into place. Goals before hoes. Goals before bros. Just make sure you stick to your plan. Come up with a plan and stick to it. Me moving out to Florida, I had a very strong support system, but I feel like when I got to Florida, I didn't have any support. And that's only because I felt like I was alone. Even though I moved out there and I had companion or whatever the case may be, I feel like I was missing my nieces growing up. Like, I was missing out on their lives. Like, things that I could talk to them about or they could only talk to me about, I feel like I was missing that. Like, I was missing parts of their lives that I know that I can be an influence in. So that's one reason why I moved back to New York, because I feel like, you know, one, it was mentally draining. I feel like I was fighting for my life in Florida. Like, going through a breakup while you're out there alone, just not having no family. Like, where I was living, my family lived in Orlando and I was living in Fort Lauderdale, so it was just me. Like, it was just me in Fort Lauderdale, no one else. So I had to like make new friends. Like, my friends became my little, you know, immediate family. It was just crazy. So just mentally draining. I feel like I wasn't ready to be away from my family. I wasn't financially ready as I thought I was. And I didn't have a plan. All the things that I mentioned before, I feel like I was lacking when I went out there. Like, I just went out there off of, I'm tired of New York and I got a little bit of change in my account. Let me just go. Because I've been talking about moving to Florida for decades. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm like, yeah, I'm buying my house in Florida. Like, that's it. Once I get out of New York, I'm moving to Florida. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I feel like it's something that I can still do. But me going there, just, you know, it wasn't God's timing. It wasn't his timing, and I feel like when the time is right, it's going to be right. Maybe, you never know, I might get that house I've been looking at on Zillow that's in Florida. Or I might get that house that I see in Houston. Nah, Houston got something. I see it. What I'm saying, just the most important part is to be ready for challenges. If you feel like you need to leave to get your mind right, I feel like I had to leave to become the person I am today. So if you want to leave and you want to, you know, experience new things, go ahead. Like, I feel like take the leap. You won't know unless you try. You won't know unless you go. So even if you go and you come back, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't let nobody tell you that it's bad for you to go somewhere and then come back, or make one step forward and then 10 steps back. Things like that happen all the time. So if you want to go out there and experience it and be like, hey, I tried and it didn't work and I failed, come back, regroup, and then try again. That's just what life is. Don't let anybody discourage you or make you feel like you can't do something. Just do you. Just live your life. Your life is yours to live. That's just that. Either way, I just wanted to share my ideas and tips with you guys. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys learned something from it. If you loved the video, just tell me what your favorite part is in the comments. Don't forget to add me on social media. I'm going to leave it all in the description box below. That's pretty much it. I love you.
You just got CA and trying to keep it concealed. Oh, mama.